What's up, guys? It's your boy Spider Productions here, and today, fresh off another episode of the great and amazing show that is Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Season 7, Episode 10, The Phantom Apprentice. Oh my god. I'm gonna tell you one thing. This was such a lore-heavy episode. Lore is all you heard. Fighting was good. The fight scenes were amazing. I just can't get over the lore itself. The lore that you learn in this episode, I'm telling you, it's gonna kill you. It's gonna kill you. So, this is definitely spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, do not watch this review. Just know the first part you can watch. So, I don't even know what to begin. So, at the beginning, it obviously takes place where Ahsoka was ambushed by Maul from last episode. And apparently, Maul revealed a lot of things about his plans, dude. Maul planned the whole Mandalorian attack. Him taking over Mandalore, trying to build up his Mandalorian army so that he can lure Obi-Wan and Anakin to Mandalore. He wanted them both. Now, I'm not going to tell you why until the end of the review, but so he tells this to Ahsoka. Ahsoka wants to know why them specifically. Because he senses the plan. He knows the plan is coming. He knows the plan. The Order 66 is happening. He knows. It's getting closer. So Rex saves her life. They get out of there. Maul escapes as per usual. But they kidnapped Almec, the dude who was running, who was the supreme ruler, I guess you could say. Dude, it's just so much. I'm trying to word it out as best I can. So sorry if I slow down. But so afterwards, they reconvene back at the throne room, and Obi-Wan is there. Obi-Wan is going to Epipau. I think that's how you say that planet. I'll never remember how to say that planet. But if you've seen Episode 3, you know that planet where that Obi-Wan goes to search for Grievous, because that's where Grievous and the other members of the Trade Federation have been holed up before he sends them to Mustafar. Obi-Wan is headed there. So obviously, this episode takes place after the beginning segment of Revenge of the Sith. After everything that happened at the beginning of Revenge of the Sith, after Obi-Wan leaves Anakin to go off to find Grievous, this is where this episode takes place. So it takes place when that happens. And Obi-Wan, oh my god. Obi-Wan tells Ahsoka. Now, there was so much I forgot because I've watched episode 3 thousands of times. So I can't believe I forgot these things. But so Obi-Wan tells Ahsoka that, oh no. So Maul dropped the name Darth Sidious to Ahsoka. Ahsoka tells that to Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan knows about Sidious because if you remember in episode 2, when Dooku captured Obi-Wan, he told Obi-Wan about Darth Sidious, the guy who was running everything. He was under the shadows. I assume Obi-Wan at some point told Yoda and told Mace about it. But, so Count Dooku wanted Obi-Wan to join him in the Sith. But he said no. But he still knew that valuable information. And they thought if they captured Dooku, that they would learn more about who Sidious is and how he's been controlling the Clone War. So, Ahsoka asks if Obi-Wan could send more men for support. He said no, because he's going to go find Grievous on that planet that I told you about. So she asks, why can't Anakin help? And so he tells her. He tells her that he tells Ahsoka that Anakin is on a special assignment. That's why, because I always wondered, why didn't Anakin try to go back to Mandalore to help out? Now we know. Technically, as you know, obviously, Ahsoka wasn't thought of back then. But if circumstances would have been different, things could have changed. So, Anakin couldn't go back to help Ahsoka because the Council put him on special assignment. The Chancellor had stayed in office long after his term had expired. They wanted to know what his plans were. The Council wanted to know what he was up to. So, they sent Anakin because Anakin is the only Jedi that the Chancellor's close with. But they know Anakin wasn't comfortable. And Ahsoka was so protective and was so protective of Anakin this entire episode, it almost made me want to cry. She was so protective of him. Like, it's so amazing. So she tells him. So she tells Obi-Wan that obviously Anakin would not be happy about trying to look at the Chancellor, like trying to figure out what's up with him. And that goes to show how close Ahsoka and Anakin are, more than Obi-Wan is, because I feel like Ahsoka and Anakin were way closer than Obi-Wan and Anakin were. Like Obi-Wan has always been like Anakin's father figure. Like if you've obviously had that parent where you don't tell them everything, you tell them either what they want to hear or enough so they get off your back. Ahsoka is like the sibling. You can tell her everything. Like you could tell her anything and everything, and you know their secrets are cool. And she protected him so much, even though she wasn't by his side. She stood by his name, and I respected that so much. So Obi-Wan wanted Ahsoka to talk to Anakin about him taking the assignment. But she knows talking to Anakin about justifying what the council is doing is right. She said that she's not the right person to talk to about that, because the council turned their back on her as soon as she was suspected of the crime. So what does she look like trying to tell Anakin to stand by the council, knowing that both of them know that the council can't be trusted? I'm telling you, Obi-Wan is semi-woke. He's semi-woke. He still wants to believe in what the council's mission is and what they're doing, because that's all he knows. Anakin is that one Jedi who's the wokest out of all of them. He's the wokest. He was still steered down the wrong path. I'm telling you, if he was steered down the right path, he could have fixed the council. I'm telling you, if they would have trusted him more, if so many circumstances could have been different, he could have changed the whole landscape of the council. The council would be better off if Anakin if Anakin was a leading member of the council, he would have changed so many things, dude. He would have changed so much. But, so, Ahsoka probably was going to talk to Anakin at some point after the mission was done. So, Ahsoka goes to Almec, tries to figure out who Sidious is, if Maul had told him about Sidious. So, it's already 7 minutes. It's funny how this is going to be the longest review I've ever done. So, he tells her that, apparently, so Saxon is the guy who is in Rebels, but has sicker armor in Clone Wars, I'm telling you now. Their Mandalorian getup is so cool. I've seen the pictures that people have been posting. So like I said, I've watched Rebels, but I haven't watched every single episode of Rebels. I'm going to tell you that right now. I just recently watched some episodes that I didn't see, and I was kind of shocked. But, there are some episodes of Rebels I have not seen. I've only seen important bits and pieces. When they introduced characters from other shows and movies, I watched that. When they introduced things that were important to the story, I watched that. But, the entire show itself, I have not watched it. So, when I get my equipment and stuff, I'm going to rewatch. I'm going to probably rewatch Star Wars entirely again. I'm going to rewatch it, post it on the channel. Then I'm going to watch through Clone Wars every episode. Maybe in chronological order, because I actually want to watch every single episode. I know it's the risk of copyright, but it's such a good series, dude. So, and then I'll try to watch Rebels. I haven't watched Resistance because the animation, low-key, I feel like it would burn my eyes out. It's just so blurry. But anyway, back to the task at hand. So, basically, Ahsoka was trying to get information from Almec, but he was assassinated by Saxon. But before he died, he told her that Maul had a vision. If you remember in the movies, when Anakin would have dreams about the future, Jedi sometimes have visions of the future. I don't think they said Sith Lords have those, but then again, Maul was a Sith Lord, even though he's not one now. He's like a renegade Sith, but he still has glimpses of the future. So I feel like anybody who has the Force has glimpses of the future. But anyway, so basically, Maul had a glimpse of the future of what was going to happen. He knew that Order 66 was on its way. He knew that Sidious was going to take control. But he needed one crucial thing to keep everything he wanted in control. He needed an apprentice. And when he found out that Dooku had died, even Ahsoka was shocked when she found out that Anakin killed Dooku. When they found out Dooku died, he knew that Anakin was the one that Sidious wanted this whole time. He knew that Sidious wanted Anakin. So he was trying, that's why he started everything. He did the whole Mandalorian takeover to draw Obi-Wan and Anakin out so that they could attack him, so that he could kill Anakin and stop Sidious from taking over the galaxy. And I'm sure him killing Obi-Wan would have been a plus for him as well. But that's what his mission was. He wanted to kill Anakin. He wanted to stop Anakin from taking over the galaxy, so he wanted to kill him. But I'm telling you, Anakin is a good person. He was just steered down the wrong path. People didn't believe in him and people didn't trust him. That's why he took the fall. And there's just so many things that was like deeply seeded to his fall to the dark side. And I'm glad that it was finally fleshed out, because I know a lot of people didn't like the prequels because it felt like it was just so, not sudden, but it was too quick. They felt like him turning to the dark side was too quick. Like, we needed to see over time how he turned to the dark side. That's why everybody loves Clone Wars so much, because it's like it deeply seeds everything you need to know about Anakin's fall to the dark side over seasons. You see it. Sometimes majorly, sometimes minorly. But it's great. It's all done super well. Like, oh my god. But yeah, like, so he tells her that he tells her about his vision, and then Almec dies. Then it was a cool elevator battle, dude, between Saxon and Bo. It was such a cool elevator battle. But Maul gets away, obviously. So they head back to the throne room where Maul is waiting for them. And I forgot, he kidnapped ARC Trooper Jesse to get information out of him about Ahsoka. He wanted to know who Ahsoka Tano was because he had never met her before. And then I guess he found out that she was Anakin's apprentice. And it's so much, dude. It's so much lore. But I'm gonna try to keep continuing. So after that, after everything was said and done, the battle between Maul and Ahsoka starts. But their conversation before the battle was so good. And even while the battle was going on, it was so good. But I'm gonna try to deep dive into the battle. But so the battle between the clones and the Mandalorians were going on. Bo had to go help her people. Rex had to go on the front lines. So Ahsoka was left to fight Maul by herself. While this was going on, Maul wanted Ahsoka to join him in stopping Sidious, which is nuts, because if you've known Maul's history, he's convinced Savage Opress, the Mandalorians, even in Rebels, he tried to convince Ezra to join him, not only to take over the galaxy, but to kill Obi-Wan. And now he wanted Ahsoka to join him so that they could stop Maul together. So they could stop Sidious together. But dude, oh my gosh, that gave me chills when he asked her to join him. So she said, "I will join you, but only one question. What do you want with Anakin Skywalker?" It shows her devotion to him. She's so overprotective of him. She trusts him with her life. Like, even when the council didn't trust her, she knows Anakin's got her back, dude. So she's gonna have his. What does he want with Anakin Skywalker? Dude, I was kind of pissed that I was kind of spoiled. I wasn't spoiled, but I was kind of spoiled. Someone posted a video that pissed me off because I wanted to wait before I saw the episode. Someone posted a video saying that Darth Maul knows that Anakin is Darth Vader. And I was like, what? There's no way. So I went on the episode immediately and started watching it. And dude, he said that Anakin is the key to everything. He even told her straight to her face that Sidious wants him. Sidious wants him to join him. But the thing that she says, so Ahsoka says, like, when he says that Anakin is the key to everything, she says, what, to bring balance to the Force? And he said, no, to destroy, to join Sidious and take over the galaxy. And she was like, no. She didn't want to believe it. She didn't want to. This shows how close all of these characters are. Like, even Obi-Wan and Padme in the movies didn't want to believe it, that Anakin turned to the dark side. But it happened, and it's, oh my God. It happened, and Anakin turned, and she didn't want to believe it. But he told her that your vision is flawed, and they fought. Now let me tell you. You could obviously tell if you've watched a lot of cinematography movies, the fight choreography in every movie, you can tell the difference between animated fights and realistic fights. I'm telling you. This fight was obviously mocapped, but it was mocapped very well. Very well. It was so good. They mocapped the hell out of this. Like, it was so good, dude. Whoever mocapped it, props. I can't clap right now because I'm holding the phone, but props to you for mocapping the hell out of this fight. Like, it low-key was believable that this was animated. But no, this was a mocapped fight. Like, this was amazing mocap. Now, obviously, I heard rumors that they said that, I think his name is Ray Fisher, the guy who played as Darth Maul in Phantom Menace, was mocapping his movements in this fight. But then they had Sam Witwer's voice, who's been voicing Maul. He also voices Starkiller and the Emperor. Props to him. Props to him, because he's an amazing actor. So good. They put both Maul from live action and from animated together in one fight, and it was so crisp. Mwah. So good. Such a good fight, dude. So amazing. Even Ahsoka's movements were mocapped at times. I thought she was animated, but no, she was mocapped. I don't know who mocapped her movements. Whoever did played the hell out of it and did it well. Like, it's like whoever mocapped it knew Ahsoka's movements for decades. And they knew how she would fight in this battle. Like, it was so good. So their fight goes on, and Ahsoka legit tried to stab him with her lightsaber when she dropped it. And she called him out. She said, it was such a good line. She said, damn it, I don't know how to say it word for word, but she said that you're lucky Anakin isn't here, because the way you're fighting, you wouldn't last very long. She says it straight up to his face. Like, the way you're fighting, Anakin would have mopped the floor with you. And honestly, I know everybody's been thinking about it. How would a fight go between either Anakin versus Darth Maul or Darth Vader versus Darth Maul? I think, honestly, Anakin would have a better chance to fight Maul than Vader, because Vader is more machine than man. He has mechanical legs, he has mechanical arms, he's not as flexible and as skilled as he used to be. He's more brute force than he was when he was in Clone Wars. Like, you could tell by how Anakin fought that he was brute force, but you could definitely tell when he's Vader that he's all brute force, and the mechanical arms and legs help him with his brute force. And it's just, dude, it's so good. It's so good. So when you know that Anakin is fighting Ahsoka, he may have strength, he may have power, but he doesn't have skill. He's not as flexible and acrobatic as Ahsoka is. That's why she got the upper hand on Vader. So I feel like Maul is still a very capable fighter, regardless how old he is. He's a very capable fighter. Like, he can fight, trust me. But then again, there have been, obviously, he was defeated by Obi-Wan, who at the time was 17 or early 20s when he fought him in Phantom Menace. So it goes to show that Maul is very skilled, but he believes in his own power too much that he sometimes has a blind spot. And dude, when Ahsoka called him out on that, like I said, I know everybody's been thinking who would win. Like I said, Anakin has more flexibility than Vader, because obviously he doesn't have the crunch of his robotic legs or his robotic arms, except the one arm. But he still has, he has brute strength, he has skill. Anakin always thinks on his feet. Like, he always thinks one step ahead. And even the biggest part, Anakin is unpredictable. Sometimes he can be predictable. You know he'll always do some crazy shit, but he's unpredictable as hell. So I feel like possibly in this fight, I low-key think Anakin would win. Because if you know me, my favorite character is Anakin Skywalker. Like, my second favorite character is Luke. My third is Obi-Wan, Yoda, Ahsoka. Those are my top 5 favorite characters in all of Star Wars. So I'm telling you, Anakin has one of the coolest stories in Star Wars, and a story that you understand both points of view. Like, you understand him being Vader, but you also understand him being Anakin at the same time. And it's just so good. And I'm telling you this now, because I've been saying this while this entire episode was going on. If the Council had not kicked out Ahsoka from the Council, she could have stopped him from turning to the dark side. I'm telling you, if Ahsoka was there, Anakin would have not turned to the dark side. Like, Obi-Wan wasn't strong enough to hold him. Padme, when he was too consumed by power, couldn't stop him. I feel like Ahsoka is the only person who's close to him enough that could have done something. Like, even during the Mortis arc, when Ahsoka turned to the dark side, Anakin still believed in her, still believed she could be saved. Even when she was dead, he still found a way to save her. So I'm telling you, Ahsoka would have went above and beyond to save Anakin. She would have done the impossible to save him. Ugh. That's what I'm telling you. The Council, dude. The Council, like, I would always love to be a Jedi, but sometimes I feel like I would never be a Jedi during the prequels. Like, I feel like the thing I love about, like, Rebels and the stuff during the original trilogy is that they're not bound by the Council rules. The Council rules, one of the flaws that the Council has is that they don't believe in compassion. They don't believe in letting their emotions drive their actions. Sometimes emotions can get in the way, but emotions is what makes you stronger. That's why I said Anakin is legit my favorite character. And even Obi-Wan, when I found out that he actually had a love of his life, Satine, Anakin does sometimes go above and beyond to protect those that he wants to protect. Like, he'll sometimes tap into the dark side just to save someone he cares about. He's willing to do whatever it takes. But that's human. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's understandable. When you lose someone or when you're on the verge of losing someone, you'll do whatever it takes to save them. That's why I love Anakin. Like, the other Jedi, they're just so emotionally disconnected. Like, how can you be emotionalist to people you're trying to protect? How can you be the keepers of peace when you're too emotionalist to actually empathize with that peace? Like, it's just so much. So much I can say, but in the end, they captured Maul. And he basically was telling them that we're all going to die if you don't let me go. Like, and even when Ahsoka bested him in battle, she wanted him to drop him. He wanted to die. He would have rather let himself die than to be a plaything in this Order 66 war. But dude, whew, such a lore-heavy episode. If you wanted lore, such a heavy lore episode. This is probably my longest review I've ever done, but for damn good reason. This was such an amazing episode. This was more, like, honestly, last episode is still better to me only because we got to see all of my favorite characters be in the one room. Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Ahsoka, and Rex. It was more emotional because I've grown up with these characters for so many years. To see them finally come back together after all this time just emotionally broke me. I cried in that episode, dude. Like, I've never cried ever, but I cried in that episode. This episode was just so lore heavy. Like, it was so much lore. Like, it was so much. If you wanted to learn everything, go ahead and watch this episode because it's gonna tell you everything, dude. And it's just wow. But yeah, man, this episode was definitely 10 out of 10. Freaking blew my mind. I'm telling you, like I said in the last episode, watch Star Wars. I'm telling you, Star Wars is one of the best medias besides Marvel and anime and DC. Like, Star Wars is up there, dude. Star Wars is so good, so amazing. It'll throw you through the emotional loops when it has its opportunities. I love it. I love all of it. And honestly, like I said, all of Star Wars, the prequels is the strongest in Star Wars. I'm just saying. Like, I understand why Disney low-key wanted to cut off the prequels from Star Wars, because they know the prequels is the strongest era in Star Wars besides the originals. Like, dude, so much happens in the prequels that you don't even pay attention to or know about your first way through. But I'm telling you, if you have not watched Star Wars, watch it immediately. If you have not watched Clone Wars, what the hell are you doing? Because Clone Wars is killing it right now. They're killing it with this season. And there's 2 episodes left. We've already captured Maul, so you know what's happening next. You know Order 66 is coming. It's either coming next episode or the one after that. So I wonder what they're going to show in the next 2 episodes. I wonder. But dude, so much is going to come to this. It's all coming to an end, and I'm so sad to see it go, but I can't wait to see how it ends. I can't wait to see how it ends. But yes, man, as far as my review, 10 out of 10. blew my mind. So lore heavy. The mocap fight scene between Darth Maul and Ahsoka. That was a fight I'd been waiting for since they announced it during Star Wars Day down the street. I was so pissed I couldn't go to the Star Wars celebration because I was in Texas when the week it happened. I didn't know. But now next time I'm not missing it. I'm not missing Star Wars Celebration. But oh my god. Such a good episode. 10 out of 10. Throws you through the emotional loops. Like if you've watched Star Wars, you'll know what's happening. Dude. But yeah, man, if you have not seen this episode, watch it immediately. Like you obviously have to see Clone Wars if you have not watched Clone Wars yet. But if you've seen all of the episodes and you've not seen this episode, watch it immediately before people spoil it for you. I'm telling you, because I was spoiled that Maul knew that Anakin was Vader, and I was so mad because and then it gave me so many questions because it's like, when did he find out? How long has he known? Why didn't he say anything? Like his information could have saved the Jedi. Like I'm telling you, if Maul would have said something, none of this probably would have happened. The Jedi probably would still be unguarded. Some of the Jedi probably would have still died, trust me. But something, if not anything, could have saved the majority of them. But such a good episode. Such a good episode. Watch it if you haven't. I just don't even know what to say. But guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. I hope you like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what else you want me to post, if there's anything else you want me to post. I'm definitely doing the reviews for the next 2 episodes when it comes out. Trust me. I'm probably going to have to start watching these episodes as soon as they are posted because I was so pissed I was spoiled by that. Because that was lore I would have wanted to learn in the show. But I'll see you guys later. Peace.